right, baby. Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom! Right. And shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. Your host with the mostest, Marky Saint. And this morning, I'm showing off the example of the sun rising through the mountains because not but 2-3 days ago, you can go back and see that we couldn't see any of these mountains, right? Couldn't see any of these mountains. Couldn't see these easy mountains right here in front of me in the sunrise. It was blocked. That's right. It was blocked. The shine was blocking. I did a shine blocking video and it was hard to see the forest through the trees. It was hard to rise and shine. It was hard to get any kind of light through the darkness. It was so hazy. It was so fuzzy. It was almost like a lesson that needed to be taught this morning about how things tend to block out our view and then they disappear, and then we want to know why that was our excuse. So I'm going to go into it this morning. Marijuana motivation, safe addiction. We're going to rise and shine, and we're going to go into it this morning and talk about the excuses that we give ourselves to stop ourselves from growing. It's literally that. And the worst part, it'll be something like a forest fire and chaotic, like that kind of level of an event, and then it'll pass, and then the time will be gone, and we can't get it back. We can't relive it. We can't rewind it. We can't reset it. What has happened has happened, and we're stuck with the results that we already laid out. And that's shocking because like it'll always be something so imperative. Like I didn't go out last night, but like there'd be something similar to that where you're going to want to do something with your time, but you audible out, you change your mind, you give yourself an excuse, you give yourself an out, and then the time goes by and FOMO sets in, fear of missing out, and what I could have done instead, right? We get the regret, and the only thing that gets better than regret is action. You know, that's the only cure for regret is action. And that's why I get up in the morning. That's why I be rising and shining and shoot. I saw the sunrise, so I was like, let me do the morning motivation. I'm gonna roll this blunt. And then I'm get into it. But actually, I owe you 10 minutes because I didn't have my phone charged enough for yesterday to talk about the audacity of motherfuckers stealing shit, not doing the work, and expecting the results of the work they didn't do. The audacity, me and you. So, in this, we're all going to try to win it. In this, we're going to have reactions. We're going to have emotions. This is just what's inside of our lives. The thing that reminds me to remind you is that the excuses you tell yourself are the ones that you're going to believe. So, you believe you're fat, you believe you're broke, you believe you're lonely. Poor, broke, and lonely is always going to come with that attitude. It's going to come with that vibration. It's going to come with that melody. And you're going to maybe like that kind of song. Yeah, hear me now, feel me now. Some people, especially with this morning sunshine on my skin, the vitamin D, are going to like the sound of their song, their siren song, this thing that kept them back the whole time. I wish I could have. They'll say it like that. They're like, I wish I had it like that. And the thing is that they chose it that way. Just like when my mom went to dinner with my brother the other day, like he chose his life. He's not a very happy person. He's not a very smiley person. I take pictures with my brother, and what does he do? Flip the camera off. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't give a fuck. You know, just like my mom's like, why are you flipping the camera off? Oh, I'm just messing with Mark. And it was just like, no, I'm the smiley extroverted brother, and there's the determined, never did a drug, not very loosey goosey, very serious brother. And it's kind of like that. You know, unfortunately, but true, it's kind of like that, where everything you do kind of has a reflection upon you. Yeah? Whatever reason, season, idea, concept, the way you processed it, that's the way you're going to hold it down. And in our minds, we anticipate it like that. We literally anticipate it for things to be subversive, or interpreted, or fearful. And unfortunately, those are all lies. Unfortunately, you'll have to go back and go, this is what stopped me. You look at the things, should have gone straight that way, straight to the castle. And you have this fear in your mind. They're like, this is unstoppable, this labyrinth, all these lessons, all this education, things I gotta learn, skill sets I don't have. This is a whole complicated life. And it goes, yeah, this is the journey of life. It's not a destination, right? There's no excuses here. It's only learn or lose. And there are no in between for nobody. Either you learn or you lose, and it's your life to learn. You need to learn about yourself. Nobody's going to reach inside of your life and learn for you, and that's just what it is. Unfortunately, but true. And in there comes your excuse, the thing that you keep telling yourself in your head, and you go, oh, you know what? If I believe it, then I'll achieve it, and I'll achieve my stationary skills, because all I did was achieve the couch level. All I did was just stay comfortable. I adjusted the air conditioning. I didn't leave the house and adjust the environment. I just adjusted the air conditioning. And then that's your full extent of your energy, of the help that you give. Then what kind of results of a life do you think you're going to live? Like, if all you ever did was reach for the air conditioner or reach for the remote control or go as far as your living room, you know what I mean? Then your journey's all set. Your excuses are set for you. You've made it super comfortable for yourself, and that's the excuse that you have to live with. Now, you might not have said it out loud. You might have said, I'm just going to sit here the rest of my life and watch my TV and watch other people play the game of life. You might not have said it that way. It might have happened more subtle than that. It might have happened with some babies, or, you got a new house and then you got comfortable and the job and you're kicking off your feet every day and you just want to watch the football game. And all I want, and you'll say a sentence like that, all I want is to watch this fucking football game and eat this pizza and I'll be fine. 13 seasons later, 30 pounds around your stomach. The pattern started to get created. And then there you were, stuck in your own pattern. A pattern that you decided. It wasn't pressed upon you. It wasn't like there was a gun to your head. It wasn't like any of that. It was more subtle than that. And then you didn't see the power that you had. You didn't see that you made a decision that was so powerful that it would set in motion for 30 years. One little idea of what you deserve and what you're worth will set you in a precedence that me and my brother went in separate directions. Me and my brother have never drank together. We've never had a drink together, never had a smoke together. As I rolled this blunt this morning, me and my brother have never done any of that shit together. We're just different human beings. He's more of a straight lace and I'm more of an extrovert, an experimenter. And that's the path we chose. But in that, Jeremy became a multimillionaire. He's a very focused individual. He owns his own business. He's got 2,000 clients. I'm sure he's making like 50 grand a month. But what's your excuse for not smiling? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got friends that got money and they're still unhappy. I'm like, what's your excuse? Let's just blow some for the nation up. And that's what you're going to have to ask yourself. When I tell people I want to travel, it's always we got dogs, we got excuses, our pussy's bleeding, I got a mortgage. What other fear-based things are keeping you from living your life? Your house will still be there. You could still rent a babysitter, right? You can still get someone to watch your dogs, I'm sure of it, You could still, I don't know, get an Airbnb for the month and have somebody rent out your house, do a house swap, right? Come on, little penis. Oh, shit. Look, he's running it, and then the cop's right behind him. Saturday morning cartoons, baby. But that's us, and that's you, and that's the way then that's your excuse, and that's the way it's going to be, because we had that idea, and we convince ourselves of these things. Oh, I can't, my blood pressure, and that would just go through the roof, or that would anger my neighbor, or that would anger my husband, and I could never wear that dress. I could never go do that. I could never go see that show. I could never.
And that's why I started doing things by the end of the never. As soon as I said, I've never jumped out of an airplane, I was like, shit, I gotta jump out of a perfectly good airplane. But what a better life to live. I've never eaten escargot. Shit, shit. There it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I gotta go eat some fucking snails. But at least I'm living. You know, and sure, things aren't as congruent as you'd like them to be. I'm sure you're not whipping the car that you'd like it to, but at least you're alive. What's your excuse? There's the whole thing in front of us that we got to tell ourselves, to ourselves, the things that's stopping ourselves. And you're the only one that's listening. That's the worst part. You're the one that's got the what's it called when you have a microphone. You're yelling in your own head, and you're the only one listening to the dread and the reason why you ain't doing what you want to do and live the way you want to live. You got to tell yourself that excuse. Why didn't I get up this morning? Oh, well, we were drinking last night, and this one girl didn't call us back, so we started to drink heavier. And now I'm really hungover, and my day's starting to slip by. The sun's already rising, and I just want to pull the blinds closed and be comfortable. And, just give me a minute. Those minutes turned into days, bro. That's the fucked up part. Those minutes turned into days, bro. And then they went by. Days go by. And the time kept slipping into the future. And then it's gone. Then you woke up, and now you have to sit there and go, this is what ends me? A battery? I was telling my friend, what's stopping us from growing? We need batteries. The last I checked, batteries don't slow this show down. And I'm not just flexing on you and trying to be all braggadocious, but literally batteries ain't going to slow me down. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to let little things slow me down. Not myself, not my emotions, not my excuses, right? Like, that's not going to happen here because I can see them formulate in my mind. I can almost see, like, oh, that's your belief system? You ask somebody if they believe in God. Let me ask you what excuses you believe. What do you believe you can't do? Let me hear that from your own lips, and let me watch yourself convince you, because they say it's true. You know what I mean? Both are correct, as they say. Both are correct. You can be correct on both ends, because guess what? If you believe you can, you are correct. And if you believe you can't, you are correct. And it's all in your belief system. So it's not on me. It's what you believe and what you excuse yourself for. Well, my parents weren't really rich, so, I'm never going to have a Ferrari. Well, you had yourself an out. You're never going to have a Ferrari, and you're always going to have an out. In our minds, we'll place doubt. We'll sit there and create things. This thing just poked a hole in my shit. Per usual, right? We'll create these fictitious reasons of things. Here, I'll put case in point myself, like, oh, I'm too young to have a baby. Well, my cousin pulled it off. I mean, he had to work his whole life and he didn't get to really travel, but he kept his baby. Maybe he had more support from his mommy, but like, I mean, the excuse that I gave for not keeping my first child was that I wanted to go to college and that she was only 15 and I was only 17 and we were too young. That's the excuse I gave myself. I'm like, I'll never get to go to college. I'll never get to travel the world. So my excuse to kill my own child was to have an abortion at 17 and 15 and excuse myself from the situation and excuse myself from my accountabilities. And my excuse was that I didn't have enough support. I wanted to go to college. Now, as a grown-ass man that's 47 years old, that's lost multiple babies, I look back at my excuses and I go, how can you be so lazy? How could you be so cruel? How can you kill your own baby, you heartless motherfucker? And I do that to myself because that's what regret does. For all of us that make an excuse that we have to face and know damn well that should have never taken place. That should have never slowed us down. That should have never been the thing that ended it. And then you got to look at yourself and go, okay, that's what you've been telling yourself. It's what we've been telling ourselves the whole time, right? Excuses of why things won't work, or the reason why I'm not living the life that I want to live. I have to look myself in that proverbial eye and go, oh, this is all on me. It has nothing to do with anyone else. It has to do with my perspective and my character and my intentions and my energy. Because if I put the energy in, then it has to come out, right? Right. But I didn't put the energy in. I put the excuses in. I guess we're going to have to put energy over excuse, because that's what it is. You know, you're going to keep telling yourself you're too fat, you're too poor, you're too ugly. And none of that is good reinforcement. None of that stopped people that were actually ugly from getting that job, or people that were actually poor from trying, or all of them. We love an underdog story. What's the ones going on right now with your boy Dana White? The fight's coming on today, the El Noche, and he had some girl come out of nowhere from the contender series, knock out the favorite, the 32-1 underdog, hit her in the jaw, knocked her cold out, had a fighter's chance, but she almost didn't make it because she was broke. She had no food in the fridge. She had no money. They had to go send the staff. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, you know what he said? She's not broke anymore. Okay? So go knock someone out without any paycheck, without any fucking rhyme or reason, without any food in your belly. That's the underdog story that people want to hear. That's the shit that we live off of, that this is insurmountable odds. The what did they call that? The watching hour? What was it with your boy? What's your boy Winston Churchill's the darkest hour? You know, in the darkest of hours, right? When the Germans are blitzkrieging and they got the V2 rocket and they're slamming into London, and London is on fire. Ancient London from the 16th century is on fire. Yeah, bro, that was really happening. But you never had a darkest hour like that. I guarantee it. You know what I mean? Like, that was World War One. You've never had to defend your home country and stop what you were doing so you could go protect your homeland, so your mom and dad and your ranch and your farm didn't go get blown up by some Nazis. Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah, did you have to do that this morning? No Dunkirk? Yeah, nobody's blowing up your shit. Okay, cool. That's dope. Well, guess what? That's happened before. And unfortunately, it might happen again. And that's where you live, where you have an excuses, where you think you can't do something, and then all of a sudden, it's shown to you. It's knocked at your door, and all of a sudden, you're lifting cars off of your dead relatives. All of a sudden, you're up early. All of a sudden, you're motivated, right? Because you chose something better. It's that simple. It might be pressure. Talk about it all the time. Life gives us pressure. You know what I mean? That's how it builds diamonds, right? When we want diamonds out of this bitch, it's going to be a pressure zone. But in that, you're going to learn a lesson. You know, how far you can go. How far the human mind, body, spirit, and ideas can go. Because most people, they don't even know how far they can go. They've never pushed it to the limit. There's some adrenaline junkies out there. There's people that count Mount Everest. There's people that fucking push it to the limit. Just like that. Push it to the limit. Yep. I'm gonna push it to the limit. Got some sun on me this morning. I'm gonna push my limits further away. I'm gonna push my fear further away. I'm gonna push my mind further in directions I never even thought were possible. Just because I can't spell it doesn't mean I can't go there. Just because I don't understand it doesn't mean I can't figure it out. And just because it scares me doesn't make it insurmountable. Okay? And that's it. You know, you start looking at the bullets and stopping them. Well, this isn't what stops me. I'm stronger than that. You know, I got bigger priorities. I got bigger dreams. My dreams won't let me sleep. They make me rise. They make me go. They make me push. They make me go beyond my pain. They make me go beyond my fear. They make me go beyond all the excuses that I've ever had. Bless up to you. Because that's what it is. It's a fucking excuse. And the moment you start looking at it that way, there's the moment you can start changing it. That's just it. And that's what I ought to quit. I ought to quit the excuses that I believe. I ought to quit the anger that presides inside of me. I ought to quit all the bullshit that I keep telling myself. And I had to quit all the fear and just look at it for real, because it was false expectations appearing real. I really thought I was going to die around the world, and here I am, still not dead. And I really thought that, to test my life out, to push it to the limit, that it would show me my limits, but it just kept opening up doors. What a fucking trip, bro. It just kept opening up doors. You thought you were running out of couches, then another friend showed up. Thought you were running out of money, then another friend show up. Then you thought you weren't going to make it anymore, then another friend show up, and then you realized you were just coming up with all the reasons why it wouldn't work. Instead of proving to yourself all the reasons that it will. Why are you going to be a successful entrepreneur? Because I willed it. Why do you deserve another opportunity? Because I willed it. Why do you keep persisting, Mr. Anderson? Because my will wills it. And that's it, bro. I will it. Will it. Figure it out and will it. And that's it. I started to will myself into existence. I started to get up early. I started to exercise the demon. I started to stop giving myself excuses. And I started going after it. And that's when I started to feel like a real human. Now when I look back, I go, man, I really did that. Oh my God, we went in Cambodia and slept inside that nasty ass hotel and fucked, even though there were smears, nastiness on the wall, and we didn't have no money, but we kept having sex and we kept smiling, and we were young, dumb, full of cum, and we made it work. And I went to go buy some weed in some shady ass spots, and it was all seeds, but there was like 16 fucking felons in there, so I was just like, yeah, I'll take what I can get. Or how about that time? That was scary. And that's what they say. That's what it is. It's time. Because on a long enough timeline, your life looks like a comedy. Up close, it's tragedy because you're so close to it. You're so close to the feelings, the feelings of ambush, the feelings of betrayal, the feelings of pettiness. It hurts, right? Then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, you almost married a fucking 15-year-old BDSM queen that you barely knew, that was hitting you, and she had a fake butt? Oh, fucking tell that story again. It's still a little too new, but there'll be a time, just like South Korea prison, where I never thought I would thank them. And even now inside of me, I fight that bullet and I bite down on it and go, fuck South Korea, right? Fuck South Korean food, fuck South Korean people. Gucci So suck my dick, right? Gucci So's the name of the prison in South Korea. But that's not what happened. What ended up happening is I started making some friends with Yakuzas, and I went back and made friends with the captain, and the captain came and hung out with me and his wife and had drinks after. That's the truth of it. The captain of the prison partied with me after. That's hilarious. Only after the fact. At the time, I was just trying to honor him for taking care of me, and that I wasn't the human being that was arrested in front of him. That I would go back to that prison and bring my friends nudie magazines and how to learn English magazines and books. And they said, stop coming here. You're not a visitor. You don't belong here. And I did. I stopped going. But yeah, I went back to my own prison in South Korea about 3 different times just to say goodbye to the boys. And that's your excuse. I didn't have any. I started removing them. And it's scary because now you got to face yourself. You got to face your capabilities. You got to actually see what you're really made out of. And it's intense because you're made out of a lot. I mean, fuck, your parents laid down and made magic. You went from the invisible to the visible, and now you have this visible life, this visible energy, and what are you going to do with it? That's what scares you. You'll put it on a shelf. You'll put it back on your, what is it called when you, what's it called when you, kick the can down the road? I don't even do it. Procrastinate. And then you'll push it down further and you just procrastinate. And I'll always travel. And I woke up this morning, my buddy's pulling up in Ireland. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's my homies. And my other friends were like, we went there last year. And just like that. And they're all tourists. They're not actual travelers, you know what I mean? But for them, they get a go. And that's what we do. We want to brag about the things that we've accomplished. But the hard part is the excuses of why you haven't traveled before. What's taking you so long? I got friends that got passports and I'm still chewing them out.
Jenny face. So, what's your excuse? And I'd like to hear it, and your mind would like to hear it. Then you'd have to debate everybody and prove your hypothesis of why you spent your time on fear, excuses, and walk us through your rationale. And now that the time has passed, does it still make sense to you? After you try to convince everybody, including yourself, of the excuses that you use. I can't do this. I hate the word can't, bro. I hate the I hate people that use the word can't, bro. I don't even use the word can't. Thank God that from my father, because then I don't have something inside me that stops me from being me. I don't have an excuse inside that goes, hey, um, you don't get up early because life will wait for you while you're sleeping in your bed sheets. Hell no. Money don't sleep, time don't sleep, life don't sleep. It's up and running, and so are you. So are your decisions, so are your patterns, so are your behaviors, and they're waiting for you to change. They're waiting for you to get a different skill set, give up the fucking excuses, give up the reasoning, and start cognating that there is something possible. That I can change my whole life, sell the car, sell the condo, sell the career, get rid of it all, pack it up, and just start traveling the world. And that's what I did. Best decision I ever made in my life, because for sure they would have kept me here working the job, paying the bills, going to vacation once in a while. It's not enough for me. And now it's not. And thankfully, thankfully it's not enough for me. Thankfully, there's more than weed, and there's more than just having a job, and there's more than I'm more than my excuses. I'm more than my fear. I went and faced it, and I'll face it again. I enjoy it. Now, if at the end of the never, I'm doing it. And I'm like, hey, I only got so many days left to live. How many are there? 4,000 weekends? 4,000 weeks? What are you doing with yours? I'm down to half. I might have 1,000 weeks left. Only got so many Christmases and time with my mom, spent time with her, my brother. I'm so grateful. Try to see everybody while I'm here. I'm like, yo, you want to go do this? You want to go do that? I'm down as fuck. And that's what ended up starting to happen. I started to do stuff because I did let my lack of money, my lack of confidence, my lack of excuses really, ran out, and I stopped using them. I stopped lying to myself and reasoning why I couldn't do something, and find a reason why I can do something. And in that can do attitude, that can do attitude, that I think I can, I think I can attitude, I started to climb a little bit. I started to see myself rise a little bit. I started seeing myself go past a couple finish lines, and I said, I can count on me. I can count on me to do something. I can count on me to rise like the sun behind me. I can count on me to do my best every day. I can count on me to do something new every day, and that was even special too. Told my buddy I took that challenge, and ever since it's been great. It's been cool, because now I can push my boundaries. I don't have repetitive days. This isn't Groundhog Day. This is the challenge day of what challenge will I take, and rise to meet that challenge and be brave enough to do it. Yeah, it might give you a little bit of tingles, but that's in your balls, bro. There's a little tingles in your balls. You got them as big as domes, don't you? That's what he said. Nikita Khrushchev. If you ever get a chance, watch The Death of Stalin. It's hilarious. It's a comedy, but it's based off the truth of Stalin. And he scared so many people that he laid in his OP for a day after having a stroke. No one dared to go check on him because the last dude got his head cut off. Well, Nikita Khrushchev approached the general, and general said, he's like, I need your help to get Beria. And he was like, I have to report this conversation. You cannot threaten another. Oh, you should see your face, motherfucker. The ball's on you. And he's like, kissed him. And he scared him at first, and he was like, he thought he was going to rat him out. And the truth is he was on it, but he would just wanted to scare him a little bit just to see the balls on him. And he grabbed his own balls, and male to male genitalia grab him like, the balls on you. That's what I want to see. The balls on you. I want you to reach down and grab your cojones, much like I am, and grab your balls and see if you're still alive. Get inside your ovaries, young ladies, and see if there's still some life down there. Then start living your life. Peace and love.
And as always, Gigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, subscribe. But most importantly, dude, the other side of your fears, the other side of your excuses, the other side of the other world, it's there. I just don't want to hear it. I want to see it. Ciao.